for y'all parents out there or guardians or whoever, little brothers or older brothers or whatever, I want y'all to watch out for who comes in contact with the kids who play basketball that have talent. The reason why I say that is because there's a lot of people out here who are making money off of kids, and they throw the kids some shoes or something, making a whole lot of money off them and putting them in bad situations. At least if you do it, at least put them in a good situation. But there's a lot of people that put kids in bad situations. Like, I had a kid who was top 50 in the country, right? Top 50 in the country. He was at one school, and you know, he was doing well. He was in his sophomore, going to his junior year. He already had a bunch of schools, you know. And then I had got a inbox from somebody who's a coach too, from back home in New York. This was here in DMV, but from back home. Inboxed me, asked me about the kid. Then he ended up saying, is he good with school? I'm like, he's good with school. He don't need to go nowhere. He already got schools. Like, he just need to finish out high school strong and commit and, you know, figure out where he gonna go. But last thing coach said was, he told me was, we could get him into another school. I'm like, why would he need to go to another school? He said you could at least make money off him. I was like, what? And he hung up. I mean, well, yeah, he hung up. They was on the phone. I was like, this is sad, because the coach that I spoke to, a lot of these coaches, they start off from the kindness of their heart and they giving back. And then throughout the times, like, stuff start to change, and then before you know it, it's all about the money all of a sudden. And this is one of those coaches. So what ended up happening is, a few weeks later, the kid that the coach was asking about hit me up to take him to the airport. I'm like, hit him to the airport for what? Oh, I'm going to a school somewhere else in another state. I ain't gonna say what state, but in another state. I'm like, why are you leaving? Next thing you know, I couldn't go because I was coaching a high school game. I couldn't take him. He goes out there, and whatever happens out there, had an okay year. But then he comes back home, and he ends up going back to the school that he was at. I'm like, what happened? Oh, XYZ, whatever happened over there, I'm back over here. And then next thing you know, he started having trying to get into school problems, as in, like, what is it, trying to get qualified, the transcripts. Now the crazy thing is, when you transfer in schools, in the school that he went to, you know what I mean, like, a lot of times these schools, they do all kind of stuff with paperwork, and if things don't work out right, they might mess up your paperwork. I don't know. But all I know, this kid went from having great grades, not having no problem with everything, to all of a sudden having a hard time qualifying. Now, the kid ended up going to another prep school. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this story is because the funny thing that happened was, another one of my kids back home ended up going to a school in the same place, and I asked him what was the name of the school. It was the same school this kid went to. And what's the like coincidence of them going to the same school? And I thought about it. So then when I'm speaking to the kid that was top 50 in the country, I was speaking to him, and he said, I was like, so you spoke to such and such? That was the coach's name. And then he was like, nah, I ain't speak to him. That was a test, because I never told him about the coach's name. Next thing you know, I'm like, how the heck does this kid know his name? That told me that it's connected. The guy went behind my back to talk to him, get him to transfer schools, probably got big money for him to go there. With him going there, it messed up a lot of his transcript. He ended up going to a college that I was with him all the time. All these schools this was a school that I never heard call him or speak to him. Yeah, they offered him, but they wasn't ringing his phone off the hook like the other schools, so it made no sense. He ended up telling me later that he went there because they was making sure he qualified. So basically, he was put in a situation where he had to go to that school because he was trying to escape JUCO. So with that being said, watch who come around your kids, man. any of these kids, because there's these coaches out here that are making money off of getting kids to play certain places. It could be a high school. If they get a high-profile player to go to the high school. If there's people that's giving money to try to get this coach to get a kid to speak to them on the phone. I'm saying a whole lot of money, like 20,000, 30, 40, 50, just to speak to the kid. So watch out, because especially these coaches be trying to put these kids in situations to get money, putting them in bad situations. I'm like this. I have no problem with anybody grind, how they get their paper. But at least do it right. Don't sit there and try to get money off a kid, put them in a situation that's gonna mess up their career. Like, it's crazy. I be seeing it, I'm like sitting there and I see kids going, I'm like, why he there? Why he there? What's going on? Why you moving here? Why you moving? Shoot, one kid showed me his report card and it was in pencil and paper. Now that was crazy. Like, I mean, like, it's all kind of crazy stuff going on. Watch who speak to your kids and give your kids information and trying to help. Think they trying to help these kids, because there's a lot of snakes out here that's posing as good guys that are messing up kids' careers. I don't care what it is. I don't even know if the kid I'm talking about, I don't even know if he really want to hoop like that no more. He hooped, but he had dreams and things went different, because the school he ended up going to, he ended up playing that much at all. If he would have went to one of them schools that was going after him hard, he would have been good money, but he ended up getting put in a situation where he had to go to a school and it was helping him qualify, so he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go there. Watch who are around these kids, man. People don't like me. The reason why people don't like me is because I speak the truth. That's honesty. There's two tables. There's tables full of the harsh truth, and there's a table full of comfortable lies. I'm at the harsh truth. I'm not lying to kids. I'm not lying to parents. I'm not lying to nobody. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. These coaches and stuff out here lying to these kids, lying to these parents, and these parents is believing in everything they saying. Kids are believing everything they saying, and these kids end up getting hit with something hard once they try to go to college or get into college. All of a sudden something bad is going on. They can't play, or they can't qualify, or any of these things that happen, and they just messed up, and now they out here blaming the world, and now they miserable. End of the day, we all want to be happy. When you doing that, messing with somebody's happiness, and I don't respect it at all.